Hello, my name is Conor Hickey. I'm the Head of Professional Services here at Dealflo. Today I'll be talking you through how a client would integrate with the Dealflo services. As part of our integration model, we run a series of workshops with the client to map out their existing application or credit provisioning process and translate that into a fully digitized e-contracting solution. In order to show you how you would integrate with the Dealflo solution, I will be mapping out a general version of a manual credit provisioning solution, and then showing you how you would integrate with the Dealflo web services in order to transition to a fully digitized solution. So if I start out with a swim lane on top of a client platform, they will first have a application process. So during this application process, we take the scenario of an in-store, somebody walking into a store and taking out credit to purchase an item. A salesperson would capture the customer's personal details, details of the product that they're purchasing, and also details of the credit, the financial product that they're also purchasing. Once that's been captured, the next step will be for some form of underwriting to take place. That's usually a credit check or various checks on the customer's financial history. After underwriting, a scoring process takes place and a decision onto whether the company will lend to that individual. Assuming a positive decision, contracts are generated by the client. And in the paper world, those are printed out by the salesperson, and a signing ceremony takes place between the salesperson and the customer. Customer signing the contract, and possibly the salesperson witnessing that. Those signed contracts then are typically uploaded back into the point of sale system for downstream processing to take place, where a payouts team, a fraud team, or an operations team will finalize those documents, and money will be paid out to the store/customer. So if I place a box here referring to downstream processing, we'll call it payouts. Now, as we said, the Dealflo platform is a series of web services hosted on the Amazon cloud. To transition from this paper-based manual process to the fully digitized solution, there's a number of web services that need to be integrated to in order to facilitate that. Now, if we take the first key web service that a client would integrate with, it's the Dealflo Verification Hub. Call that the V-Hub. And the main use we'll have for that today in this process is to carry out an identity check on the customer who's taking out the loan and who will be electronically signing the agreement. One of the key principles of electronic contract enforceability is KYC, knowing your customer, carrying out a full identity check on that customer. And that's done through Dealflo so that we can store evidence of that identity check later in the tamper evidence sealed signed contract. So if we take it a step back to the process, the end-to-end process, the application takes place where the customer's details, bank details, product details are captured. Underwriting takes place where a credit check previously took place. And now in addition to that, a call is made to the Dealflo Verification Hub in order to carry out an identity check, and the results passed back to the client in order to facilitate a decision. The information that's passed to that identity check will be name, address, date of birth of the customer applying for the loan. So assuming that the identity check has been carried out successfully, a decision has been made to proceed with the lending or the lend, the documents are still generated as PDFs. And rather than print those documents out, At this point, they're now passed to Dealflo for processing. So this is where the second integration point happens to the Dealflo initiate transaction service. The information passed to this web service, well, obviously the PDF that's to be signed. Now this is a fully populated PDF. All details captured in the application stage are populated by the client into the PDF as they would be in a manual process. So the PDF is passed to Dealflo, telling us this is now to be signed by the customer, but also some metadata. And that metadata contains information like who's going to be signing, customer name, where they're signing, are they in a dealership, are they in a store, are they signing at home, and that informs what kind of signing ceremony will be launched for the customer. Maybe information about what branding should be used, security information. So a series of metadata, simple metadata passed along with the document. Dealflo creates a transaction on the platform and generates a unique URL. And that unique URL is passed in a positive response back to the calling system. Now this unique URL is a very flexible method of launching an e-sign ceremony. To redirect to this URL, we'll launch the signing ceremony hosted on the Dealflo platform for the contract that was being passed to us for the customer that the metadata was related to. So if you redirect to this URL, you're now in the e-sign ceremony, the series of web pages which will direct maybe a salesperson and customer or just a customer through the signing stages of that document. So if we take in this example, the application process has happened, the document has been passed to Dealflo, a URL has been passed back, and a redirect has happened. Now the signing ceremony has been launched. That signing ceremony happens on the Dealflo platform. It's an asynchronous process, but all during that process we're notifying the client system exactly what has happened, the main events that have happened in the signing ceremony. If I take the example of an anti-impersonation device embedded into the e-sign ceremony to prove that it is a particular customer who is signing. If that fails, obviously the client system will need to know about that, and a notification is being sent back to a URL-based notification is sent back to the client system, informing them that for a particular agreement, a particular customer has failed knowledge-based authentication or anti-impersonation. The most important notification sent back to the calling system is that the agreement has been completed, has been signed by all parties, and has been executed on the Dealflo platform. So the signed agreement with all necessary evidence exists on the Dealflo platform. A tamper evidence seal has been placed around the signed agreement, but that lives on the Dealflo platform, and it's obviously needed back here. So we'll have this final notification after, if I say just a box here for the e-sign ceremony. And I'll put a notification back here to say everything is now complete. So as we said, the signed document exists on the Dealflo platform, and we've informed the calling system that it's finished and exists down here. So a final call to a new web service, the download web service, is made. And that's requesting the document pack. And what the document pack is the signed agreement and all evidence. So now that document pack has been retrieved and exists here back on the calling systems and is made available to the payouts team, and the downstream processing can happen as normal. And that's a very general, high-level view of how a client would integrate with the Dealflo web services.